In number 44, we're asked to solve these equations. We are working in terms of degrees as they've given us here in the instructions. Let's start with part A. 3 cosine theta plus 9 equals 7. Remember, we want to get cosine theta by itself. Subtract 9 from both sides. 3 cosine theta equals 7 minus 9, or negative 2. Divide both sides by 3. Cosine theta equals negative 2/3. To find theta, we need to do inverse of cosine for both sides. So cosine inverse of cosine theta gives us theta equals cosine inverse, or arc cosine, of negative 2/3. Remember, this is something you do in your calculator, and according to the directions, your calculator should be set to degrees. Theta is to be correct to the nearest tenth of a degree. Theta equals 131.8 degrees, or 228.2 degrees. And remember, that makes sense because cosine would have that value in both the second quadrant and in the third quadrant. Now let's do part B. In part B, we actually have a quadratic trinomial here to solve. One of the ways to do this is just to take the sign out and do 3 theta squared plus 7 theta plus 2 equals 0. If that makes it easier for you to factor it, that's perfectly fine. To factor, we get theta plus 2 times 3 theta plus 1. Now that we've factored, we can put the sign back in. Sine of theta plus 2 times 3 sine theta plus 1. If you don't need those first two steps, then please just skip them. Now that we've got this factored, remember, to solve, we have to set each factor equal to 0. So first one, sine theta plus 2 equals 0. To solve, we'll subtract 2 from each side, and we get sine theta equals negative 2. Now the question is, does sine theta ever equal negative 2? And the answer is no. And the other part, 3 sine theta plus 1, we set equal to 0. Subtract 1 from each side. 3 sine theta equals negative 1. Divide both sides by 3, and we get sine of theta equals negative 1/3. Remember, to solve this, we'll use sine inverse. Use inverse sine for both sides. In this case, we get theta equals, and we get theta equals negative 19.47, which of course does not fall between 0 and 360 degrees, but we can rewrite it as 340.5 degrees, and then our other answer is 199.5 degrees. Now, remember, we get two answers because sine would be equal to negative 1/3 in these two locations approximately.